Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're exploring all the presidents of the United States. Let's jump right in. We have George Washington, 1789-1797, the very first president. He set the precedent for future leaders and was a key figure in the American Revolutionary War. Next, John Adams, 1797-1801, played a crucial role in the early years of the Republic and was a founding father. Thomas Jefferson, 1801-1809, authored the Declaration of Independence and made the Louisiana Purchase, doubling the size of the U.S. James Madison, 1809-1817, led the nation through the War of 1812. James Monroe, 1817-1825, is known for the Monroe Doctrine, a cornerstone of American foreign policy. John Quincy Adams, 1825-1829, was a diplomat and the son of John Adams. Andrew Jackson, 1829-1837, the People's President, expanded democracy but also initiated the Trail of Tears. Martin Van Buren, 1837-1841, faced an economic crisis known as the Panic of 1837. William Henry Harrison had the shortest presidency in 1841, dying just a month after taking office. John Tyler, 1841-1845, annexed Texas but was unpopular with both parties. James K. Polk, 1845-1849, expanded U.S. territory to the Pacific. Zachary Taylor, 1849-1850, was a military hero but died early in his term. Millard Fillmore, 1850-1853, signed the Compromise of 1850, attempting to ease tensions over slavery. Franklin Pierce, 1853-1857, struggled to manage the growing divide over slavery. James Buchanan, 1857-1861, failed to prevent the country from sliding into civil war. Abraham Lincoln, 1861-1865, led the nation through the Civil War and abolished slavery. Tragically, he was assassinated. Andrew Johnson, 1865-1869, oversaw the early Reconstruction era but clashed with Congress. Ulysses S. Grant, 1869-1877, worked to rebuild the nation but faced corruption scandals. Rutherford B. Hayes, 1877-1881, ended Reconstruction and focused on civil service reform. James A. Garfield, 1881, was assassinated, leading to Chester A. Arthur's presidency, 1881-1885, where he continued civil service reforms. Chester A. Arthur, 1881-1885, led the nation during civil service reform but faced political challenges. Grover Cleveland, 1885-1889, served his first term as president, focusing on economic reform and fighting corruption. Benjamin Harrison, 1889-1893, expanded the Navy and admitted 6 new states to the Union. Grover Cleveland, 1893-1897, known for his honesty and efforts to reform government during his second term. William McKinley, 1897-1901, led the nation during the Spanish-American War but was assassinated. Theodore Roosevelt, 1901-1909, was a dynamic leader who pushed for progressive reforms and conservation. William Howard Taft, 1909-1913, focused on antitrust laws and later became Chief Justice. Woodrow Wilson, 1913-1921, led the nation through World War I and advocated for the League of Nations. Warren G. Harding, 1921-1923, promised a return to normalcy but faced scandals. Calvin Coolidge, 1923-1929, presided over a booming economy. Herbert Hoover, 1929-1933, struggled with the onset of the Great Depression. Franklin D.C., 1933-1945, led the nation through the Great Depression and World War II with his New Deal policies. Harry S. Truman, 1945-1953, ended World War II and started the Marshall Plan to rebuild Europe. Dwight D. Eisenhower, 1953-1961, oversaw a period of economic prosperity and the interstate highway system. John F. Kennedy, 1961-1963, inspired a generation with his vision but was tragically assassinated. Lyndon B. Johnson, 1963-1969, passed major civil rights legislation and expanded social programs. Richard Nixon, 1969-1974, opened relations with China but resigned due to the Watergate scandal. Gerald Ford, 1974-1977, pardoned Nixon and tried to heal the nation. Jimmy Carter, 1977-1981, emphasized human rights but faced economic challenges. Ronald Reagan, 1981-1989, promoted conservative policies and helped end the Cold War. George H.W. Bush, 1989-1993, led during the Gulf War and oversaw the end of the Cold War. Bill Clinton, 1993 to 2001, presided over economic prosperity but faced impeachment. George W. Bush, 2001 to 2009, responded to the 9/11 attacks and initiated the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. Barack Obama, 2009 to 2017, passed the Affordable Care Act and led the nation out of the Great Recession. Donald Trump, 2017 to 2021, had a controversial and polarizing term. Joe Biden, 2021 present, has focused on handling the COVID-19 pandemic and addressing economic and social issues.